think I'm live. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Now, it's been an absolute age since I've done a live stream, so please forgive me if this doesn't go to plan. I'm doing my best. I'm on my phone here. I've got the laptop at the side here just to make sure that yeah, all is going well. So how are you? At whatever point you come in and watch this video, then welcome. You might be watching this back on the on replay, and that is absolutely fine. But yeah, at whatever point you come in, then it is great to have you. So how are you? I hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay. So yeah, as I say, it's been an absolute age since I've done a live stream. I used to do live streams quite a lot, but then the quality wasn't so good. So I stopped doing them and just reverted to videos. But because I missed a video upload this week, I thought I would do a live stream because yeah, I ended up in hospital. Well, I say ended up, I didn't end up. It was a planned visit to hospital this week, so I had to go in for some treatment, and by the time I got home I was just completely wiped out, completely. So I decided to just look after myself, so didn't get around to editing my video. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing one for you today. So guys, I do have some things specific to talk to you about, and yeah, I thought I would share with you 3 things that I don't do, 3 things that I stopped doing on the weight loss journey. Yeah, 3 things that I stopped doing that wasn't serving me anymore. Hi Ali, hello my lovely, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And you know what, Ali, you've just confirmed for me that the live stream is working, that you can see me, that you can hear me. So thank you for that, because you know, I never know whether or not I'm live if I don't have people joining me. So thank you so much, Ali, and thank you so much for being here. I can see I've got somebody else here with me today, so thank you. So guys, as I say, 3 things that I'm gonna share with you that I stopped doing on my weight loss journey. So if you're watching this video and you are new to my channel, then a huge warm welcome. Hi Amy, thank you so much for being here with me. Great to have you with me today. So let me just give you a bit of a background. So to date, I have lost 12 stone 3 pounds. So that is 173 pounds in weight I've lost. And do you know what? I can't even believe that I've lost that much weight, because when I started my journey, I was the person who gained weight in the first couple of weeks. Hi Ryan, great to have you here with me today. So yeah, I was the lady that lost weight. Oh, sorry, I was the lady that gained weight in the first couple of weeks. And I was doing the Weight Watchers program, and on Weight Watchers there was a load of things that you can eat. And so I loved bananas, so I was eating bananas because bananas were 0. And I remember thinking, God, this is good, I can eat as many bananas as I want. And I was like munching through, you know, 8, 9, 10 bananas a week. And when I spoke to my coach, she was like, well, why are you eating so many bananas? I was like, well, they're free, aren't they? They're 0, so I can eat them. Not a good idea. So I gained weight, and I kept thinking I'm never gonna lose weight. I couldn't see myself losing a stone, because I was like, how am I going to lose a pound? I can't lose a pound, never mind 10 pounds, never mind a stone. But I believed in myself, and I was just so desperate to lose weight that I just kept going. And 6 years and 7 months later, I've now lost 12 stone, 3 pounds. And I'm super proud of myself, super proud. And there are a lot of things that I've learned along the way, a huge amount. Good morning, Horatio. Hello. Hi, Maxine. Great to have you all here with me today. So there's a huge amount of things that I've lost along the way. Sorry, I've lost a lot of weight along the way, but a lot of things I've learned along the way that has helped me to lose 12 stone and 3 pounds and to keep it off. And today I'm going to get into just 3 things, 3 of my key learnings that has helped me on the way, not just to lose weight, but to keep it off. Because for those of you who know, I am a weight loss coach, and I've been coaching people for many, many years, and I've seen this cycle. I've seen this cycle where people lose weight, but then they regain it. And that was me. And I did lose 4 stone before lockdown and started gaining the weight back. And then I had an epiphany. And I started to change things up. And when I started to change things up and make these changes, and 3 of these things I'm going to share with you today. There's lots of things that I, stopped doing, but I'm going to share 3 things with you today. Then the weight continued to come off. And other than gaining a couple of pounds here and there because of my health condition and because of inflammation, I've not gained my weight back. And I know that this is an issue for so many people on the weight loss journey. They lose weight and then over time they gain it back. So I'm going to share 3 things that I stopped doing on my weight loss journey, and I'm going to share them because it may help you. It may help you. I am a massive believer that weight loss is about mindset, first and foremost. It is about mindset. Lots of people jump into weight loss programs focusing on what to eat, and that is important, but I'm a massive believer that mindset first. We have to work on the mindset. And I'm going to do a lot more work, a lot more videos around mindset, because, mindset comes about how we think and how we talk to ourselves. The language that we use is all important, really important. So I'm going to do some videos around that. So if you're here for the first time, if you're watching me either on the live stream or on the replay, and I'm also going to upload this on my podcast as well, on the YouTube channel, but also on Spotify. If you're new here, then hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. So I'm going to get into this, guys, now. 3 things that I stopped doing on my weight loss journey, which has taken me 6 years and 7 months to lose 173 pounds, including a pound weight loss whilst I was on my holiday 3 weeks ago. So the first thing that I've got my little notebook, so if you see me looking down, that's why, because, you know, these days I have to make notes. So the first thing that I stopped doing, and this was absolutely massive for me, was I let go of the scale and the scale results. What do I mean by that? Well, I started off my weight loss journey for the final time with Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers, Slimming World, all of these different clubs really encourage weighing yourself on the scales. In fact, with Weight Watchers, the clue is in the title, Weight Watchers, watching our weight, being focused on our weight, watching our weight, Weight Watchers. And when I had that moment, I was like, I'm so focused and so obsessed with watching the scales and watching the number on the scale. It actually became a massive stumbling block for me. Now, slimming clubs, you know, by their nature, they encourage weekly weigh-ins. And then in COVID, Weight Watchers encouraged, you know, different weighing patterns, you know, from once a day, but no less than once a week. And you know, I understand that because it fits into their model. They ain't going to tell you to weigh once a month because that doesn't fit with their model of people going into a weekly class. So I understand all of that. But for me, when I started weighing myself weekly, that became a massive stumbling block, because what I discovered was if I got on the scale and I saw a loss, I would celebrate. I would celebrate with food. I was like, I need to treat myself. And when I started treating myself, it was never with anything healthy. So started to treat myself. But also, if I lost half a pound, it was never enough. I wanted more. I was like, but I've done, you know, X, Y, and Z. I've been for 3 walks this week. I've had 1 less alcoholic drink. I've didn't eat that packet of crisps. You know, I wanted more weight loss. So I was frustrated. I'd only be happy if it was a good 2 or 3 pounds, but anything less than that, I'd become frustrated. I was disappointed that it wasn't more. So if I got on the scale and I lost, it was never good enough. Not unless it was a big loss. But then even then I would celebrate because it was a loss, and I would celebrate with food, treat myself to food. But if I didn't lose, if I stayed the same, or if I gained, I was disappointed, deeply disappointed. So what would I do? I would soothe myself with food. I'd be like, well, what's the point? Seriously, what's the point of being on this plan? I'm not losing weight, so I might as well just go and eat that bar of chocolate, or, you know, tuck into that pie or whatever it was. I would do that. So what I realized was when I was doing that weekly weigh-in, my results impacted my emotions, and my emotions then became that stumbling block for me, because whether I'd lost, stayed the same, or gained, food was at the center of it, and it was never the healthy food. Also, as a coach, I would see the impact of that on people. Same thing that was happening to me. If people gained, we would have tears. You know, we would have tantrums. We would have the disappointments. We would have people saying, I'm not doing this program anymore. It's not working for me. They would throw it out. But also, if people did lose, then again, same thing like me, they would start to celebrate with food. So I was seeing this pattern in myself, but also as a coach, I was recognizing it with other people. So that caused me to fluctuate. My weight was fluctuating a lot. And it wasn't about the plan or the program wasn't working. It wasn't that I didn't know how to lose weight, because by this time I'd educated myself on what led to weight loss, you know, and what caused weight loss. So I knew that, but the scales was that stumbling block for me, because the scales was dictating what I did next. It was dictating my mood. It was dictating whether I was going to eat, dictating how I felt about myself and my journey. So contrary to what the Weight Watchers were saying, and you know, I'm going to be totally honest, I was working for Weight Watchers. I was a coach for them. So I wouldn't ever talk about my weight loss results, you know, as a coach. I would never do that. So what I started to do was I put the scales away. I just put them away. And I was like, these scales are not helping me. These scales are a distraction. They're impacting my mood. They're impacting my emotions. They're impacting my feelings. They're impacting what I do, what I eat, what I do. They're having so much control over me. I don't like it. I don't want it. And I'm going to do something about it. So as a coach, I had a conflict, because here I was as a Weight Watchers coach, encouraging people to weigh up to at least once a week. You know, we were told people can weigh, you know, several times a week or weekly. And I didn't believe that, because for me, it was detrimental, and I was seeing the detrimental effects it was having on other people. So I was given the party line, telling people, you know, what we were told to say as a Weight Watchers coach. But personally, I was doing the complete opposite. So I put my scales away, and I was just like, I'm not. These scales are the devil, and I'm banishing them from my life. So I put the scales away, took the batteries out, and I hid them. And I just got on with doing, I wouldn't even say following the plan. I was just doing what I knew caused weight loss, because after all, that's what I wanted. So I started mindful eating mindfully, which is eating really slowly, being really focused on what I'm eating, the textures, the taste, the flavors, all of that. Started eating mindfully. I started practicing intermittent fasting. Now, mindful eating I could talk about at Weight Watchers, because that was something that they promoted. I also started intermittent fasting. That was a you know, a tricky topic, and didn't go down well at Weight Watchers in general, where in some aspects Weight Watchers did support it in a fashion, but didn't call it intermittent fasting. But I went off and started researching Dr. Jason Fung Minzipal and I was like, this makes complete sense to me. So started practicing that. And when I was eating, was just eating just sensible meals. Yeah. 2 to 3 meals a day, sensible portions, managing those portions, eating really slowly. And then the one day, I'll never forget it. It was summertime, and I pulled out a dress. And I hadn't worn this dress from the previous summer, and the dress was really tight fitting on me. And I tried it on, and it literally just fell over my body. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Last time I put this dress on, it clung, it was tight. And now it's just literally falling off me. It's draping. It's really loose on me. I thought, hey, what's going on? Felt really good. Felt really nice. So I thought, I think I've lost weight. And the reason I thought that was because, and you'll know this, guys, if you're on a weight loss journey, is because you're looking at your body every day, you don't necessarily see the changes. So even though I've now lost, 12 stone 3 pounds, 173 pounds, people tell me, oh my God, you look, you've lost loads of weight. I can't necessarily see that in myself, because I saw myself last month, 3 months ago, and I look pretty much the same. I can't see that. It's only when I try my clothes on that I can see that I see it. So this is what happened. I saw it when I put my clothes on. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get those scales out. And I got the scales out, and I stood on the scales, and I'd lost 16 pounds. 16 pounds. And that was 9 weeks. Yeah, 9 weeks I hadn't weighed myself, and I'd lost 16 pounds. And that was the most weight I'd lost in a very long time. Well, it was the most, it worked out just under £2 a week. And that was the most I'd lost. And what that taught me was that I was right. For me, was that those darn scales was blocking my progress. Because in those 9 weeks that I'd put the scales away, I was just focused not on the scales, not on the results. I was just focused on eating, moving my body, but most importantly, working on my mindset, building all of those habits that was going to give me sustainable weight loss. So that was really, really key and really important for me. So I'm just reading my notes to make sure I've covered everything that I wanted to say. So I let go of the scales. I stopped being a slave to the scales, and it reduced my anxiety around it. I was now in control of my emotions. If I was going to overeat, or have that treat, or eat that bar of chocolate or whatever, it wasn't because I was disappointed with the scale results. Something else was going on for me, but it wasn't that. And removing that then allowed me to look at so yesterday, give you an example. Yesterday, couldn't stop eating. I'm on Manjaro, full disclaimer. Let me just put it out there. I've lost 9 stone without any medical intervention, 9 stone. And then my last 3 stones I've lost a Manjaro because I'm diabetic. So yesterday I couldn't stop eating. And I'm like, what's going on, Angela? Now I'm on Manjaro, so eating quality foods like chicken and eggs and, you know, the protein and stuff like that, I still can't eat huge amounts. But the biscuits, the sweets, chocolate, I've got some Oikos yogurts in the fridge. All of those go down a treat. They go down really, really, really easily. And I couldn't stop. Couldn't stop. I was just going on like that. So when I stopped and I thought, well, I'm going to go and have some protein and have a proper meal, I was fine. But as, you know, later on in the day, that, like, the emotion, my head was elsewhere and I just couldn't stop snacking. Every time I went in the kitchen, I was like having some. So I was now able, because I've done that work on my journey, the scales wasn't a result of it or part of it. I knew something else was going on with me. Like yesterday, something else was going on with me. And I was able to sit down and think and say to myself, Angela, what's going on? What is it you're feeling? Why are you eating like the old Angela? What's going on with you? And I worked out what it was. Yeah, it was some emotional stuff going on. I worked out what it was. But when the scales was a part of that, I couldn't do that work because I was just so fixated on the number on the scale, and everything hung on that number on the scale. So removing it freed up my mind, freed up the space to be able to say, let's see what's going on with you, girl. Yeah. So yeah, taking the scales out of the picture allowed me just to do the work on my emotions and allowed me to focus on my emotions. So yeah, so that's the first thing that I did when I had my epiphany. I got rid of the scales, put the scales away, and I put the scales away for 9 weeks, and I just focused in on healthy habits. And then when I got back on the scales, I'd lost 16 pounds in 9 weeks. Massive lesson that taught me. And then after that, I decided, yeah, this is working for me. I don't need the scales. Unlike the slimming clubs that tell you need to weigh regularly, all of that, not for me. If weighing yourself regularly works for you, go for it, guys, because we're all different and different things, you know, different strokes for different folks. Yeah. So if scales work for you, go for it. But for me personally, they have to come out of the equation. So I took the scales out. It allowed me to stop focusing on the number and just to focus on healthy habits, moving my body, drinking my water, you know, sleep, getting that good nutrition in, getting my portions in, you know, eating mindfully, all of that good stuff. It allowed that. So yeah, that's the top thing that I did on my journey to lose 173 pounds, 12 stone. Yeah, number one, it gave me freedom as well. I'm telling you, the freedom that it gave me, just shifting, that shift from the other thing quickly that I will say is that I used to weigh in. When I used to weigh at Slimming Club, when I was, you know, in COVID, when I had my weigh day, etc. What I used to do, I'm going to tell you, but I'm sure I'm not alone. But I didn't really follow the plan or program properly all week. And then the day or two before weigh day, I used to be like, right, now I need to track. I need to do whatever I need to follow the plan. And then when I get on the scales, I'd be disappointed that I hadn't lost or hadn't lost more. And all I was doing was cheating to myself. I was lying to myself. I was cheating. And I realised I was doing that because of the scales and not putting in the work, but expecting the result. And then being disappointed that I didn't get the result I wanted. So there was just so many issues tied up with the scales. But as soon as I took the scales away and I shifted my focus from the scales and focused on so many other things, you know, as I mentioned, my sleep, my moving, drinking my water, my nutrition, my mindset, getting out, being social, living my best life, you know, just being real, you know, getting dressed up. My motto is get up, dress up, and show up. When I started focusing on all of those things, I felt good. And then it allowed me then to make those good choices. So, yeah. Now, in saying that, the scales are important. And I went through a period where I would just weigh whenever the sun shone in the UK, was what I would say, which was not very often. So just periodically I would weigh, and then I would get that big result, because, you know, as we know on the weight loss journey, some weeks you lose half a pound, other weeks you stay the same, some weeks you lose 3 pounds, you might stay the same for two weeks, you know. And seeing that fluctuation for me was a disappointment. But then when I sort of weighed in every 6 weeks, every 10 weeks or 12 weeks, I think the longest I went probably about 12, 13 weeks I went without weighing myself. When I stepped on the scales, I would then see maybe a 7 pound, 8 pound loss, which was then motivating for me. But recognizing that some weeks there would be stay the same, maybe even a gain, you know, there was that differential happening every week, and that was fine. But now what I was seeing was a big shift after several weeks. So that worked for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, you know, and you have to find what works for you on your journey, but that absolutely worked for me. So yeah, there were so many things tied up on the scales, and at the end of the day, I looked at the scales. It was just a tiny metal box with digital numbers on. When you step on it, it needed batteries, for goodness sake. It needed batteries to operate, but yet that was impacting my life, my weight, my health, my mood, my day, my relationships. It impacted me so much. And at the end of the day, it was an innate object that needed batteries. Straight to the back of the cupboard you've gone. Back to the cupboard. So yeah, that's what I did. So that was, and I know I've talked about this for a long time, and I'm going to move on to the next point, but that's how significant those scales were in my journey, hindering my journey, slowing down and halting my progress, impacting my entire life. And as soon as I made that click, I had that epiphany, and I realized actually it doesn't matter what the number on the scale says today. If I want a result and I want to improve my health, then what's going to make that difference is the changes that I make, the habits that I put in place. That and that alone is going to bring me the results that I want. And that scale is only one measurement, and other measurements I could use are my clothes, is how I feel, my strength levels, the ability to get in and out of a chair, you know, up and down the stairs, all of those things, you know, all different measurements. Now, the second thing that I stopped doing on my health and weight loss journey follows on from this. And whilst I stopped weighing my body on the bathroom scales, I also stopped weighing and measuring my food. At this point, let me just say a huge warm welcome. I can see quite a few of you with me now. Welcome, Jace, Sophia, and Felicia. Great to have you with me today. Guys, if you're new to my channel, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you've been here before, then it's brilliant to have you back. It really is. This is my first live session in the longest time. It really is. And it's great that you're interacting with me. So thank you so much for being here, guys. So today I'm sharing with you 3 things that I stopped doing on my weight loss journey. Now, guys, if you've come in at halfway through, then feel free after this live, go back and watch it from the top. Okay, I am also going to upload this. I'm going to edit all the waffle at the top and in the middle and throughout. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit it and I'm going to upload it on my podcast channel on Spotify, also called Time Out with Angela. Okay, so the first thing that I stopped doing is I stopped weighing myself, contrary to what a lot of the slimming clubs teach you, a lot of programs, a lot of weight loss coaches out there, they all tell you weigh yourself regularly. I'm like, no, don't do that. It didn't work for me. It might work for you. If it does, keep doing it, but just be careful of the dangers in that. And the second thing that I stopped doing, I stopped weighing and measuring my food. I know. And as a weight loss coach with Weight Watchers, again, this was a massive conflict for me because we were taught to encourage the members to weigh and measure their food. In fact, Weight Watchers used to say the way that you're going to get weight loss is by weighing at least once a week and weighing and measuring your food. That's how you're going to get weight loss. It works for some people, didn't work for me. And I'll tell you the reason I stopped weighing and measuring my food is because I had an epiphany, and there was lots of moments in this epiphany. I'll tell you, it went on for a long time. But my epiphany was, I've got to do today what I intend to do for the rest of my life, because that's sustainable. What's not sustainable is weighing and measuring for a week and then the scales gathering dust. That's not sustainable. So I had to do what was sustainable for me. And I know me. I know that I am not going to weigh a bowl of cornflakes every week for the, not that I eat cornflakes. Let me do another one. I'm not going to weigh and measure a portion of rice for the next 50 years. It ain't happening. So I'm not going to start now. You know, I ain't going to weigh out or measure out, you know, me drop of rum. What? That ain't happening, my darling. It ain't happening. You know, I ain't going to weigh and measure, you know, a portion of crisps. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And I'm not going to start something that I can't live and continue living for the next 40, 50 years. Ain't happening. I tried. I really tried. But I just, you know, when something just jars, it jars. I was like, this doesn't feel natural to me. Every time I want a portion of rice or a, you know, portion of pasta, I've got to weigh it. No, doesn't work for me. Now, the contrary to that, at Weight Watchers, they were saying, well, it doesn't work to eyeball things. It doesn't work to eyeball things. For some people, did that, I agree. For some people, it just doesn't work. But I had to find the balance. So the balance that I found was, over time, just having that little bit less. So if I was having 3 spoonfuls of rice on my plate, I was like, now I'm going to have 2 3/4. And then over time, it became 2.5. And then over time, 2. And then 1.5 until, and I mix that with mindful eating. So now I can, and when I'm talking about a spoon, I don't mean like, you know, a dessert spoon. I mean like a serving spoon. Yeah. Because back in the day, plate was full of rice. Now I just have a serving spoon. In fact, I'm at the stage where I could probably just have 3/4 or even half a serving spoon, and I'm good. Yeah, but that took time. And now my body and my stomach is just so used to having that small portion. Works for me. Don't need to wait. You know, when we were on holiday and our friend came with us, and our friend would look at my plate and they'd be like, because, you know, we'd eat in the buffet, and they'd be like, is that all you're having? I was like, yeah, it's enough for me. It's enough. And I was like, so what, you know, explained that, you know, mindful eating, just eating slowly, not even the intermittent fasting bit, but it was the eating slowly and eating really mindfully. Didn't need to weigh, measure, or have huge portions. And, you know, as a coach, you know, there was so, I would be hearing, and I'm not judging, I promise you, but, you know, some clients were like, they would take their kitchen scales on holiday with them, and they would weigh out food and point it and track it. And I was like, if that works for you, go for it. But that could never work for me, never. So I was like, I'm not even getting on this road of, the only time I would weigh and measure is if I'm cooking and following a recipe. But for me, I would just look at my plate, and at the start I used to have a big regular portion, and then I would, over time, because, you know, it's taken me 6.5 years, it doesn't happen overnight. And any program that wants to make you change your eating habits and your eating patterns overnight, not sustainable for most people. Not sustainable. You know, we can't go from eating, you know, a massive portion of food one week to the next week eating like a bird. It doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. But what happens is, over time, we reduce our portions. So that's what I did over time. And now I just have a small portion. A portion, my entire dinner can fit on the palm of my hand. Not even my fingers, the palm of my hand. And that's enough for me. That is enough. Yeah. But it didn't happen overnight. It took time. So yeah, I just had to manage my portions over time. But I also had to listen to my body, and I had to learn to listen really carefully. So even now that I'm on Manjaro, I still do it. But prior to using Manjaro, I would listen very carefully to my body, listen to those signals, listen to those cues. And when my body was saying, "You're feeling it, you've had enough, girl, you've had enough," but my eyes were still like, that chicken was nice, I want to finish that. I had to decide, am I going to go with my eyes, or am I going to go with my belly, go with my stomach? And I had to learn to listen to my stomach and say, that chicken was nice, but I've had enough. Knife and fork go down, I'm done eating. And it's a technique and it's a skill. And again, we build that up over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, so that's how I didn't need to weigh and measure, because weighing and measuring, I was becoming a slave to the tools, because I was like, there's no way I'm going on holiday and taking me kitchen scales, me bathroom scales, me measuring cups, me measuring tools. Ain't happening in my lifetime. And as I say, that's no aspersions, no judgment on people who do that. That's your choice. But I wanted to live sustainably in a way. The way that I eat today is how I'm going to eat tomorrow and the rest of my life. And I had to find my way through that. So the third thing that I stopped doing on my weight loss journey to lose 173 pounds, 12 stone 3 pounds, was, and it goes back to mindset, because I always say, if you're new to my channel, a huge warm welcome. Hi Claire, great to have you with me today. If you're new to this channel, as someone who has lost 12 stone 3 pounds, as a weight loss coach, who's coached thousands and thousands of people over many years and seen the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the joys, the despair on the weight loss journey, the one thing that I've learned is that lots of people come in to start their weight loss journey by thinking, what do I need to eat, and what foods should I stop eating? That's just a tiny part of the journey. Okay, nutrition is king, nutrition is important. So I'm not going to ever dismiss that, what you should and shouldn't eat. But the number one key, no, the second thing that's important is hormones. Hormones play a massive part on our weight loss journey, and we don't talk about that a lot. We don't hear a lot about hormone and weight loss. You might hear some of the medical experts talk about it, which is music to my ears, but weight loss influencers and people who have a weight loss channel, just regular people, you don't really hear them talking about hormones and weight loss. You just don't. But hormones is key. So nutrition, number 3. Hormones, number 2. But as a weight loss coach who's coached thousands of people, as somebody who's had a hugely successful journey, the number one thing, if you've been here before, you know what I'm going to say. It's mindset. It's mindset. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Mindset, absolutely key. Yeah. I love that Claire. Claire saying that she totally agrees regarding weighing herself and food. She never weighed her food, and she doesn't now. I eat out of a small bowl and totally cut out processed food. Yeah, totally agree with you. Small bowls, small plates, managing those portions, and again, it takes time. You don't go from eating a massive plate of food to eating a small plateful overnight. It takes time. It's a step process. But the number one thing, mindset, absolutely key. I am a trained behavior specialist, behavior change specialist. I coach people around weight loss when it comes to mindset and addressing the mindset, because I'm a strong believer. When people join me for coaching, I do not produce meal plans. Don't produce meal plans. I don't tell people what to eat. I don't even tell people how much to drink. We don't even talk about weight and weighing yourselves. What I focus in on is the mindset, because when you make those mindset shifts, everything else will fall into place. Because the mindset was not in a good place that made me put on, well over 12 stone. I'd say, gosh, at least 14 stone I gained from a healthy standpoint. From what I should have been, I'd gained about 14 stone, gained a whole person. Yes, it was the food, yes, it was the hormones, but it was the mindset. The mindset was not in the place to prevent me from making those poor choices. So what we have to do, I'm a strong believer, is we have to work on the mindset, change the mindset, shift the mindset, and put in place those healthy habits. And when those healthy habits come, portion, mindful eating, activity, sleep, water, how we think about ourselves, how we speak to ourselves, how we think about ourselves, all of those will fall into place when we address the mindset. So on that note, the third thing that I stopped doing was listening and consuming anything that would shift my mindset. So I literally, over time, came out of so many Facebook groups. I was on so many Facebook groups for Weight Watchers, for Slimming World, for calorie counting, for intermittent fasting, and just general weight loss. I removed myself out of those groups. Why? They weren't helpful. There was just so many negative things being spouted. It was affecting my mindset. There was also things that people were posting with intention of it being helpful and useful. And I'm sure it was useful and helpful to hundreds and thousands of people. It wasn't helpful for me. So I had to remove myself from it. I removed myself from people and groups where what was healthy for them wasn't healthy for me. So as an example, there was lots of group that were saying you've got to reduce your calories, you've got to have 1,200 calories a day. I was like, what? That's not helpful for me. Remove myself. You've got to track, you've got to point, you've got to stay within your your points. And it's always the post that says you've got to do this, you need to do that. Those are the posts not helpful for me, because what works for you may not work for me. So I had to look at that and think, no, I'm removing myself from those, removing myself. But in removing myself, I needed to fill that space in my mind with things that were positive and that was going to help me and that I was going to learn something from. So I now fill my days with podcasts. I love podcasts. I often say, and it's absolutely true, I only watch two things on TV, Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and even those I don't really find the time to watch much. I have to binge watch them. That's the only thing I watch on TV. And all the other times I've got my earpiece, I've got my headphones here charging up at the moment, got my headphones there, because I've always got it in my ear and I'm listening to stuff. I listen to so much stuff, and it's not necessarily about weight loss. So I have those books, Gary Foster, The Shift, excellent book. He is the Chief Medical Officer for Weight Watchers, but I have to say it is an excellent book with some brilliant stuff in there. Atomic Habits, oh my days, superb book. The Zoe podcast, I keep forgetting his name. I've downloaded his book on Audible. I bought his book on Audible. I can see I can't remember his name. Yeah, but I listen to the Zoe podcast, absolutely love those. Dr. Jason Fung around intermittent fasting, Dr. Minzy Pelt, Dr. There's so many. Bobby, guy called Bobby, he's into like natural foods and organic. So many. I listen to those people because one, it's building my knowledge about health and well-being and healthy eating and all of that stuff, but also just other stuff. Audible is my best friend. I've listened to some amazing books. Yes, the past 3 days I've listened to 3 books, entire books, start to finish, in 3 days, a book a day. I've just listened to Diddley Squat by Jeremy Clarkson, one by Dawn French, that was really good. And who's the other one? Jack Whitehall and his dad. Oh my goodness, so funny. So I listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks, and I'm just filling my head. And even though it's all of them are not necessarily about weight loss, I'm still learning, I'm still listening, I'm enjoying those books. And there's always going to be something that strikes a chord that's going to help me on my weight loss journey. So I remove myself from negative things, negative things, but also things that are not helpful for me. They may not necessarily be negative, but it might just be helpful for somebody but not necessarily helpful for me. So if you surround yourself by things that are positive for you, then it can really make the difference in making sure that your mindset is in that good, positive, light, free, happy, joyful place. So now I just walk around constantly. I'll be in the supermarket, with a great big smile on my face, or I'm chuckling to myself because I'm listening to something that's really funny. But that makes me feel good. If I feel good, I'm going to make good choices. I'm going to walk past, all of the chocolates and the biscuits on the shelf because I feel good. I'm going to come home and I'll think, yeah, I'm going to make myself something really nice and healthy. I'm going to go on a walk listening to, a really good podcast or an audio book, and before I know it, I'm building those healthy habits in without even realizing it because my headspace is positive. It's in that good place. So yeah, guys. So yeah, make sure that the noise that is in my head is good. It's positive, and it's going to help me on my journey. So I know I've gone on for quite a while. We're just coming up to the hour. But guys, yeah, those are the 3 things that I stopped doing on my journey that has helped me to lose 173 pounds on my weight loss journey. Yeah, massive shifts, which is the first thing to recap is I stopped weighing myself, put the bathroom scales away, stopped weighing myself on a regular basis. Now, and I forgot to mention, I'm just going to mention this really quickly. As I mentioned earlier, full disclaimer, I am on Mounjaro for the last 3 months. The last 3 stones of my journey. So the first 9 stone I lost without medical intervention, mindful eating, intermittent fasting. Then the last 3 stones I've lost on Mounjaro because I'm type 2 diabetic and we need to get stuff sorted there with my blood glucose levels. Because I'm being prescribed the Mounjaro by the NHS, by my medical practitioners, my practice nurse wanted me to record my data. So they wanted me to weigh myself every week so I can report back to them how I was going. I've been on it since November. They've never once asked me for my weight loss results on a weekly basis. They've just asked for, you know, the overall, and I was like, that's interesting. But after a couple of months, and you will notice on my channel that I used to do weekly Mounjaro results, and you'll notice that they've tailed off. You'll notice that. And the reason they tailed off was because I was so struggling with weighing myself weekly. I was really struggling with that. So now, again, I've put those scales away. I was like, I'm not going to put myself under that pressure. And the NHS isn't even asking for those statistics. I'm just going to do a weigh-in every couple of weeks and do an update video. And I haven't done an update video on my Mounjaro for a little while. I've got one coming there, guys. But yeah, honest truth, I was struggling. I was really struggling with going back to weighing myself on a weekly basis. Just didn't find that helpful. So just thought I'd drop that in. So now I've gone back just to weigh myself whenever. Yeah, every now and again. So yeah, stop weighing myself regularly. I let go of the scales and their results and what they were telling me. I also let go of weighing and measuring food as well. And you know, I'm just gonna say, guys, I'm gonna do more videos around this, but you know, if you have an occasion, if you're on holiday, enjoy your food and your drink, because one meal is not going to make you gain weight. It's not going to make you gain fat, you know. But if you are eating mindfully, managing your portions and making good choices, and it's sustainable, you're going to do that wherever you go. So as I said, I was on holiday, all inclusive, plethora of food, delicious food and drink, but came back with a weight loss, because what I do every single day was what I did every day on my holiday. Nothing changed. Portion sizes were still the same. And yeah, I ate all the creamy stuff, the fried chicken. I ate the lot, but still in the portions and the quantities that I would normally eat still. So yeah, don't need to weigh and measure. And also, I came out of groups that were not serving me and that were impacting my mindset negatively, and I flocked to positive things, positive people, positive noise, things that were going to help me on my journey. So yeah, guys, there we go. First live I've done in such a long time. Did you find this live and the content helpful? If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. But yeah, drop a comment below. So I can see Clara said the Manjaro, you've not been on the Manjaro for a month now due to affordability. We'll start back on the 18th and not feeling hungry at all, and you're not sure what to do. Yeah, thank you so much for the live and all the information. It's gone really quick. Let me see if I can just read. I tell you what, if I can't see, because don't want to scroll back up and yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So Claire says, thank you so much for the live and the information on mindfulness and Manjaro. I had chocolate yesterday, my first chocolate after a year, and you enjoyed it and you feel the hunger. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. No guilt. Don't feel guilty at all. You know, enjoy it, you know, and then, you know, be in control of it. Oh, and Jace, thank you so much. Guys, Jace has got a wonderful channel. It's called Jace on TV. I love her channel. And she goes live every Sunday at 3 o'clock. Nip over there and join her on her live, guys. She talks about traveling and all things related to travel. I even joined her on a live a couple of months ago, and we talked about being a traveler and being on a weight loss journey. You know, and she does it from all sorts of perspectives, you know, when it comes to finance, even, you know, managing your hair and your skincare and safety. Brilliant. So jump over to her channel, give her a like, give her a follow, watch some of her lives, and join her at 3 o'clock, guys. Yeah. Tony, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Guys, so talking about positive spaces, I am going to be launching a Facebook group that is just for my followers, where we can all come together and, you know, share that positivity, continue that support. So I will, when I get the group up and running, I will post it on my channel. And I'd love for you, for all of you, to come and join the group. And then we can just talk and support each other throughout the week. Now, it is a group that is going to be led by you guys. So I want you to post in there and drop things and form community. The other thing that I am going to be doing, guys, I'm going to be doing more lives if you want me to. So again, drop a comment, let me know if you want me to do a live. It's likely to be on a Sunday morning around this time. Let me know if you want me to do more lives. I'm also going to resurrect my membership as well, guys. We had a wonderful membership program last year and early this year. I'm going to be resurrecting that, and the membership is going to be going to provide an opportunity for the members to come together and have live interaction. So it'll be on Zoom, and it's going to be live support. We're going to have a topic, and we're going to be able to come off audio and to talk and to share our experience and provide that live support community for each other. So virtual. So we're going to be resurrecting that. The Facebook group, I'm going to be doing more lives. I'm also going to be resurrecting my podcast as well. So more information on that. So this, I'm going to edit this live, and it's going to go on the podcast on Spotify. So I'm going to put all that information out. There's loads going on, guys. Why? Well, we're in the height of summer. And, you know, we've got August and September to come. And I know people need support, good quality support that is real and realistic as well, and sustainable. But also, I hate to say it, but, you know, in a couple of months, we're going to be heading towards the end of the year. Yeah, the big C word. And I know that's a time that a lot of people really want to focus in on sustainable habits so they can feel great at the end of the year. So, you know, I really want to ramp up the support for you guys so I can share my experience and support you on your weight loss journey. So loads and loads and loads of exciting things happening. So guys, I've rambled on for a long time now. It's just over an hour, so it's time to wrap up. What are you doing today, guys? What have you got planned? Do drop a comment below. So this weekend we've been painting. So we've painted the spare room, which is going to become my studio. And I was up early this morning painting the door. I know. So that's all finished. We've cleared the room out. I've got furniture in the garden that's going to go in the shed. So we're going to clear out the shed, put the furniture in, and you know, make best use to the space. So I've got that to do. I don't know when I'm going to do that because I'm off to a barbecue this afternoon, and it's not a local. It's quite far. It's in like, it's about an hour's drive away. So yeah, I've got a busy day. So, and then I've got to edit tonight. Yes, so lots and lots and lots happening for me, guys. But whatever you do, have a wonderful, wonderful time, and remember, don't become a slave to scales, measuring or weighing, or you know, anything that's going to make your life restrictive. Go for freedom, free yourself, and when you become free and you put sustainable habits in place, you're going to get great results. So guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for being here at this point. I'll see you on another video very soon. I've got a video coming out tomorrow, so look out for that, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye. Now it's how to end this live. That's the thing. Oh, here we go.